You know, we invited you out here to talk about client engagement and business development based on your research, but you keep using this word sales. You've been talking about salespeople and selling and sales effectiveness and sales process and all this stuff, using the S word quite a bit. And if you look in this room, there's not a single salesperson in this entire ballroom. None of these people are salespeople. In fact, we don't actually sell anything. And the only thing that I could think to say, which as soon as it came out of my mouth, I thought was going to be very funny or a career-limiting move, was can we just stipulate to the fact that there's a mysterious process by which the client's money ends up in your firm's bank account? Can we just call it sales? So everyone laughed, see, like you guys. And he said, fine, go ahead, you can finish. But I actually came to, at that point, so what I did was what any good presenter would do, is I avoided invitations to partner retreats like this one for the next 10 years. Because I didn't want to be in that situation again. But I came to appreciate, and this research that we just completed really helped me appreciate at a much deeper level how the job of a, if you will, a doer seller, a partner in professional services is in fact quite different from the job of a salesperson. In the spirit of sharing bad news first, let me share with you a little bit of bad news. So the first one is really, the first piece of bad news is this, and this is a problem that's existed across commercial organizations, whether we're talking about partnerships in professional services, we're talking about sales organizations, there's this basic 80-20 problem of performance that you tend to find, which is that 80% of the growth is typically driven by the top 20% of business developers or fee earners or salespeople, if we're talking about a sales organization. That has been true for a very, very long time. In law, it's been true in consulting, it's been true in tech companies, you name it. It's a basic law of commercial performance that we find. And one of the challenges and one of the questions that leaders always ask is, what is it that our very best people are doing differently? Can we figure that out? Can we distill it? And can we use those insights to get everybody to perform at a higher level? Right? That's kind of the holy grail of commercial performance. Provided the firm or the partner you hired to do your last engagement or your last piece of work did a good job, and provided you've got a good relationship with that person, their team, and their firm, would you be inclined to just go back to them again if a new need arose? Would you shop the work out, or would you just go back to the same provider? So we asked them to think about what the answer to this question would have been 5 years ago. And about 3/4, this may not surprise you, about 3/4 said, sure, we'd go back, right? We've got a good relationship, they've done good work, why shop it around? Just go back to the consulting firm we've used in the past. Why not? Today, that number is closer to 50%, so just slightly north of 50%. So it's almost a coin toss now in the client's mind. Even if you've done great work, even if you've got a great relationship, it's not abundantly clear to them that they would just automatically pick up the phone and call Guidehouse again. And we asked them to think about what this will look like 5 years from now, and a little bit more than the third were willing to say, yeah, I would automatically go back to the same providers. All right, we got 5 profiles. We've got experts, confidants, activators, debaters, and realists. The activator is the exact opposite of the expert and the confidant in many respects. So the activator is a super connector. They're out there building networks and leveraging networks. Obviously, networks of clients and prospective clients. They're out there engaged on LinkedIn, building networks. They're out there engaged at firm-sponsored events. These are the folks who go to an event, you might say sort of colloquially to work the room, but they're going with a plan. They're looking at who's coming to the event. They've reached out in advance. They've scheduled coffees and lunches and dinners, and they've got kind of a target list of folks that they want to make sure they have a chance to talk to. They leave with a stack of business cards, and then they try to turn these connections, whether it's cards collected at a firm-sponsored event or connections collected on LinkedIn, they try to activate those connections and turn them into paying clients. And this is actually, by the way, the reason we chose the term activator instead of the term connector, because connector kind of undersells what these folks are doing. They're not just collecting connections. They're not trying to be kind of LinkedIn influencers, if you will. What they're trying to do is turn these connections into paying clients. And the way they do it is that they activate those relationships. The specific mechanism for an activator is to proactively bring new ideas to clients and prospective clients, to help them look around corners, to reach out to them, say, I don't know if you saw this recent tax court decision, or I don't know if you saw this recent piece of M&A news, or this recent litigation over here. I'd love to set up some time and talk about it and share with you my point of view. Now, some of us might think about this as kind of non-billable work, but I think for an activator, what it is pay it forward work. They're reaching out to those clients, proactively bringing new ideas to them, a perspective on the market, helping them look around corners, helping think about ways to make money, save money, or mitigate risk in ways the client hasn't even thought of yet, right? Bringing it proactively to them. and giving the client some free advice, if you will. Giving them a chance to kick the tires on their advisory skills and earn some goodwill and shape the client's preferences if in fact that client does decide to force firms to compete for the work. I've got a leg up because I'm the one who brought this opportunity to the client. They're very proactive. They do not wait for the phone to ring. They bring new ideas to their clients and propose new ways to work together, new opportunities to work together, on, I should say. Now, the other thing about activators is that unlike the confidant, they don't hoard relationships. Instead, they open those relationships and activate those relationships internally. So activators believe that it's all well and good to deliver value to your client personally. If your client is loyal to you and they think you do good work, that's wonderful, that's great. But that's a single-threaded connection between you and the client. What's much more resilient, especially in today's market of a default posture of disloyalty from our clients, where they're likely to shop the work and force us to compete for the business no matter how good of a job we've done in the past, what's much better is if we've got multiple points of connection into this client. If we are working with them across multiple departments, markets, functions, that creates a multi-point kind of web, if you will, into the client. It's a much stickier relationship. It's one that's much more resilient, and it's one that the client thinks twice before they kind of pull up the tent stakes and go with a competitor, right? Because we are embedded into their organization in a really meaningful way. Activators commit to business development, they connect broadly and deeply, and they create value proactively.